Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. What was I doing at 20 years old? I woke up one morning, I looked at my mom and I said, Mom, I'm going to host a radio show out of your basement. She said, cool. I went downstairs with the cheapest microphone I had, and I used Shoutcast and Winamp to stream my voice. I never knew how much of a response I was going to get, how many people were going to listen to my show. A couple of years after that, I launched a YouTube channel. It was very poorly financed. A lot of people hated my show and hated my guts, and now 25 years later, I'm here with the most supportive fans of Descendants and Zombies watching every video I'm uploading, which makes it all worth it. 25 years in my past were 25 years that I will never ever forget, because those 25 years led me to each and every one of you. And even with how much everybody thought Jonathan Clarke sucked 20 years ago, everybody loves Jonathan Clarke that much more because they know they can depend on Jonathan Clarke for uploading videos of Descendants and Zombies. And that is what makes this all worth it. If I was in possession of a pocket watch and could pull a Red and Chloe and stop time, I would stop time just to fall in love with this niche that you guys love so much all over again, because I think that nobody ever breaks it down. Nobody offers analogies or commentaries on Descendants and Zombies, and if you are a true fan of Descendants and Zombies, having the merch as part of your YouTube backdrop doesn't really tell me much about you. You guys have gotten to know me for being a fan of Disney, and my passions for Disney and Nickelodeon have reigned true on every video that I've uploaded. You know how I used to watch Disney Channel every day after school, how I used to say screw homework, and I used to watch Disney Channel because shows like Darkwing Duck, Hercules, Aladdin, The Lion King were at the heights of their popularity, and I just wanted to watch the latest episode. I was also a huge fan of a show called Buzz Lightyear, which was based off the original Buzz Lightyear character, and it was animated, all the conflict that he had with Emperor Zurg. Emperor Zurg could never seem to get the better of him, but I remember watching that show, and I was a huge fan of the original Aladdin TV animated series with Linda Larkin and Jason Alexander doing the voices of these characters and really bringing them to life. I think that you just can't do without your original Disney animation. You guys know me for being a fan of Hannah Montana and Selena Gomez from their generation of being huge Disney Channel stars, and they've certainly come a long way since I used to talk about them on my radio show and my YouTube videos. As a YouTube creator, you never know how much of a reach or how many people are going to watch each and every one of your videos, but I know now more than I ever have, my dream will become a reality, and I will go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time, because of each and every one of you, because that's all I've ever wanted to do. I've just wanted to be remembered, because some way or somehow I've always had this fear following me of being forgotten. And I think I say that because everybody has a legacy. And I say this about Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker too. They have legacies, so in no way, shape, or form do they deserve to be criticized. And that's what I wanted to put a stop to. That's what I wanted to take away, the pressure off of their shoulders, just to let them know everything is going to be all right. Because all of my lifetime, that's all I've ever wanted to know. While I wanted to touch the hearts of so many people for every video I ever uploaded. I hosted a show that was very poorly financed out of my parents' basement. I turned on the most cheapest microphone I had with the equipment that was at my disposal, and I launched my first radio show on August 15, 1999. And since then, I have been here for every moment, and I have never felt more honored to be a fan of things like The Simpsons, SpongeBob SquarePants, Rugrats, Disney and Nickelodeon, shows like Doug, Are You Afraid of the Dark, like I mentioned, Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, the Lion King TV series, which was called Timon and Pumbaa, Inspector Gadget. I used to watch Inspector Gadget every morning at 7:30 before I went to school. So if you're looking for a show that actually appreciates what and who you love, then I think you should subscribe to this YouTube channel. People go on for forever about why you should subscribe to their YouTube channel. But as long as they get you to hit their subscribe button so they can achieve monetization opportunities, qualify for the YouTube partnership program, that's all they've ever wanted for you. I'm on YouTube because I love being on YouTube, and I don't care if I ever get monetized. I just want to put that out there. Every single morning I wake up at 7:30, and the first thing I do is turn on these reciprocal lights, line up the stuffies, line up the set, and hit record. Because I want to record videos for people who love Descendants and Zombies. Because Descendants and Zombies really brought us together that much closer than ever before, and closer than we ever realized, because we were fans of Red, we were fans of Mel, we were fans of Evie and Bridget. If you ask me, Bridget became my favorite character and is the reason behind why my reciprocal lights sometimes are pink in every video I upload, because that was her color scheme. That was her color plot. And she inspired me to be kinder and to really be a better person. And as crazy as it sounds, I like to believe that I am a kinder person because of Ruby, because she was just so genuinely kind. I'm the kind of guy that resorts to, we got to get it on, WWE SmackDown if I see an issue. Especially with how a girl gets treated sometimes by her boyfriend. They'll call me and they'll tell me, my boyfriend isn't really treating me the best. He doesn't make sense of anything that I talk about. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have to kick his ass and go WWE SmackDown kind of thing. But people like Ruby Rose Turner really help you make sense of life and really show you how much further kindness can really have a profound impact on a person's heart. That's why girls exist. I have forever and always believed that's why people like Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker are here living with us in the same world, because they help us make sense of everything. And that's why I see an issue with them crying all the time, is because it doesn't deserve to be happening. Just because Kylie Cantrell feels the way she does about a certain issue, her political point of view, and how she's never been a Donald Trump supporter, yeah, I get that, because I've never been a Donald Trump supporter either. I can't say that I've ever agreed with a lot of things that Donald Trump has done, what he'll do in the foreseeable future, because he still has a long way to go in his second term of President of the United States. Thankfully for all of you guys, though, there's been a conversation ongoing for over 20 years about what would ever happen if Jonathan Clarke ran for President of the United States. So, Kylie, you may get what you want, and you may actually have a president that you may actually be proud to be living in America because of. Because in all honesty, guys, I really do believe that when you take somebody's political point of view and have it become a conversation that it doesn't have to be a conversation because of, it creates a problem. Kylie, I just wanted to let you know that you're doing a wonderful job as the character Red, and you've inspired a lot of people. So too have you done a wonderful job as every character you brought to life for High School Musical, the series, and shows like Berserk and Gabby during the Unsettables. I can't forget about those. Ruby did a phenomenal job too as Cammy on Coop and Cammy Ask the World, and then of course on Fuller House. I loved watching her on that Netflix series. I think that I can never seem to say enough nice things about these characters, and I can never seem to put them on a pedestal that they deserve to be on for far long enough. I think that people really need to back off the criticism without even giving these stars a chance and actually talk about them for their true value and their true worth, because there is such a true value and a true worth that goes with talking about these stars, and it's all about how much you understand what they love, what they hate, how they feel about life, because everybody has an opinion that's different from others. Everybody has a favorite show. The same logic applies. Back in the 1990s, so many people liked Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So many people liked Sailor Moon. So many people liked Are You Afraid of the Dark? So many people liked Goosebumps. It was always a constant battle of what show was number one. What show was far more superior. All that really mattered at the end of the day when the sun set was how many people were a fan of Spider-Man, how many people were a fan of Batman, how many people were a fan of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Sailor Moon. It never mattered what show was number one. All that mattered was you were a fan of it. And that's what created a passion. That's why so many people collected the Gargoyles action figures years ago. That's why so many people collected all the Aladdin merchandise. I still go to the movies, where I'm actually going today for a movie premiere at 4:10 p.m., and I'll see all this cool Disney merchandise, like the Toy Story, popcorn bucket, the Toy Story stuffies, and I'll want to buy every single one of them. While I can't afford to buy every single one of them because they're really high in price, ridiculously high in price, just seeing these characters that have made up the passions that I have the opportunity to talk about on the show makes this all worth it. If I could, I would have every single Descendants doll lined up on a shelf for you guys, which I'm seriously thinking about doing for you, because so many people talk about the dolls, and I've noticed one of the most recent trends are the Descendants 10th anniversary dolls, and I think that's cool. I think that's cool how you guys annoy your parents wanting the Descendants dolls every year for Christmas under the Christmas tree. And then your parents say, they're too expensive. We can't afford 500 Descendants dolls. What do you think I am, crazy? I get that. But the thing is, your parents will make that sacrifice for you because they know that you're a fan of Descendants and Zombies. I want you guys to know that I get you. And every single time I upload a video about Descendants and Zombies, sometimes off of camera, I'm wiping tears out of my eyes if I'm not doing it in front of it. Because this passion has really brought us together that much closer than ever before. And I think more people can be supportive of each other than they've ever been. Because when you think about it, in the Descendants franchise, Ruby Rose Turner's character Bridget had one friend, and that was Ella. The reason why she had one friend, and that was Ella, was because they understood each other. And then eventually she went on to make friends with Red and Chloe, and they became the best of friends. And they're still going to be the best of friends regardless of what the time travel consequences are going to be. It's been never more apparent there are going to be a lot of consequences from time travel. The Queen of Hearts is not evil anymore. That's kind of weird. I have to be honest with each and every one of you, because I always remembered the Queen of Hearts for being the most annoying Disney villain ever. There was just something about the original Queen of Hearts' voice that really got on my nerves. It really drove me crazy. But you know what? I watched Alice in Wonderland, if not 1,000 times, 100 for sure, because of Alice's curiosity and how Alice really meant so much to a franchise, and she went on to become so revered and one of the most iconic Disney characters of all time. That's why we see the teacup ride at Disney World all the time, and why we see so many characters being inspired to create something new for Disney because of just how revered the Alice in Wonderland franchise became. And for those of you who think this story is far from over, well, you got to think about the Alice in Wonderland novel series, because there are 4 books. There's even a book examining the relationship between Alice and Jabberwockies, which are these creatures that Red saved Chloe from when Chloe was found in a predicament in The Rise of Red. So, you know, if you want to go that much further with the story, you really can. And guys, I go all the way back to the 1800s when the Alice in Wonderland novel made it to the bookshelves just about 2 days before Christmas. I think it was December 24th, 1865, the first Alice in Wonderland book premiered. And that's how passionate I am about it. And even people are subscribing to this channel now who are fans of reading and novelists themselves, because they realize how much of a passion I have. Because there's really no point in ever uploading a video about Descendants of Zombies if you don't showcase that passion. You know, I get it. You know, you have all the Descendants posters, all the Zombies posters, all the Zombies action figures, all the Descendants dolls. I get it. I get it. But you don't need that. You just have to explain why you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies. And if you can explain why you're a fan of Descendants of Zombies, that's what's up. That's what's cool. And that's what makes every video that you upload to your YouTube channel that much more exciting to watch, because nobody knows what's coming next. You know, years ago I was a fan of Donald Duck because that was my mom's favorite character. So what my mom would do when I was 5 years old is everything she would buy me would be Donald Duck. Stuffies, underwear, pajamas, t-shirts, sweaters. Everything I had Donald Duck on it. Then I transitioned from Donald Duck to Mickey Mouse, and then between my mom and my grandmother, I have all this Mickey Mouse merchandise behind me, because I think my mom realized just how passionate I was about things like The Nightmare Before Christmas and a Goofy movie and Aladdin and 101 Dalmatians. You know, years ago, I didn't want to watch the 101 Dalmatians movie at the time. For whatever reason, I didn't want to watch the classic 101 Dalmatians. I don't know. But my mom would stop at nothing until I had a copy of 101 Dalmatians in front of me at my 7th birthday. And I got it and I watched it, and she was right. And I think ever since then I've been a fan of Disney, and I've loved talking about it. And I've loved how people subscribe to this YouTube channel because they too are very passionate about Disney. Now, I've seen a lot of YouTube channels that are far more detailed than this one, but I don't think that those YouTube channels are receiving such a huge response as this one is, because some way or somehow in every video there is at least one person who has their heart touched from how I feel about franchises like Descendants of Zombies, because they have come a long way. And it might have a lot to do with the friendships between Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, but when you really think about friendships that have really meant a lot to franchises, and are the friendships between Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson, Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner, that have really given these franchises light. Because you could put anybody with the distinction of being these Descendants characters, but would you see the same love and the passion coming from their hearts as you got from Kylie Cantrell and Ruby Rose Turner? I don't think you would have. You know, I'll talk about Ruby for forever, even though she's parted ways with the franchise, because I'll never forget the time when Ruby announced on social media that she was parting ways with this franchise. I never ever wanted to say goodbye to Ruby Rose Turner. I never ever wanted these franchises to end, and I still believe that there's still that much more of a story left to be told with these franchises, because why do we have to say goodbye when we really don't have to? If we want to believe a little bit more that we'll get to a new chapter, that more of a story will be told for these characters, and characters like Ruby Rose Turner still have so much more of a story to be told, then I just want to encourage that. because I've been a fan of Disney ever since the late 1980s, and having the honor to grow up as a millennial allowed me the honor to be fans of a show like Boy Meets World and Complete Savages and Sabrina the Teenage Witch and Family Matters and all of these original classic animated TV shows that were inspired by some of Disney's most revered classics like Hercules, Gargoyles, Aladdin. It was so fun. But, 15 years ago, if you were to tell me that I'd be hosting a show talking about the chances of a zombie apocalypse happening, I don't really know if I'd ever believe you. But it's cool that I'm actually hosting a show about a zombie apocalypse happening, because if you want to know my true opinion on that, I really do believe that a zombie apocalypse could happen at any given moment. It's just a matter of how much you believe that a zombie apocalypse is going to happen and kill us all, or an alien invasion could come from out of nowhere and kill us all. The thing is, it's all about how much you believe in these characters and how much you believe in their stories, because they have a wonderful story to be told, and I'm just excited to be a part of it. I'm just like each and every one of you. I don't know what's going to happen in Descendants and Zombies. Obviously, there's going to be some confliction and consequences from time travel. What those consequences will detail, we really don't know. I wish I had a release date for Descendants 5 with Wonderland. I wish I knew the release date for Zombies 5, because if I knew it, I would tell you guys. But then, come to think of it, that really kills the excitement. And I understand how Disney feels about a photo being leaked about a set prop or something special for Descendants and Zombies, because that's what is exciting about being a fan of it, not knowing what's going to come next. I've never really agreed with how the social media department treats the cast members, and I really wish I could do something about that. But what's so cool about being a fan of Descendants and Zombies is forever and always being a fan of who and what you love. And that's what makes this show so special, is that from every other video that's uploaded about Descendants and Zombies, I really do believe in the characters, and I believe in each and every one of you. Because I can upload as many videos as I want, but as long as you guys don't subscribe, then these videos serve no purpose. But these videos obviously touch the hearts of so many incredible people. These videos obviously give people so much inspiration, and that's what makes this all worth it. That's why I can record up to 3 podcasts 20 minutes apart every single day, because I know some way or somehow it touches somebody's heart, because we share in that same passion. Many, many years ago, I was a fan of everything Disney had, from The Prince and the Pauper, to Hercules, to Aladdin, to Nightmare Before Christmas, to A Bug's Life, to Toy Story. My cousin is actually enamored by the Buzz Lightyear character, so much so that he has a gigantic cardboard cutout of Buzz Lightyear in his bedroom, and he's like 30. The thing is, Disney has this way of touching your heart no matter if you realize it or not. And yes, I really do have a cousin who was 30 years old with a gigantic cardboard cutout of Buzz Lightyear. It's kind of really cool. And I had this friend one time who actually painted his entire bedroom the color of Tigger. So basically what he did was he had black and orange paint. So he painted his floor black and his walls orange to fit the colors of Tigger, and then he had all this Tigger merchandise around his room. It was really cool. And I think that there is so much of a passion that exists in each and every one of our hearts. It's just a matter of how much we believe in that passion and how much we want to bring it to life, because I really do believe that everybody has at least one passion. It's just a matter of how long they're going to keep that passion a secret. I've seen so many wonderful people subscribe to this YouTube channel who can play the most beautiful music on the most beautiful instruments, who can draw beautifully, who have a passion for reading. And that's really cool. That's really cool. While I may not respond to every comment that I get, I want to let you guys know that I do see every comment that I get, and I do appreciate your input, because it makes making these videos that much more worth it, and gets me really excited when I have the honor of uploading so many wonderful videos that can go as far as to touch somebody's heart. And yeah, I know I have a passion for video games. When I'm not uploading videos about Descendants and Zombies, I'm playing video games. And this week I'm buying a new supercomputer to produce these videos with. I'll have more information on that when it becomes available, because that has not been confirmed yet. But I'm really looking forward to buying it and investing into a new supercomputer, which will make these videos that much more better for you guys. This YouTube channel has come a long way. And it has been the greatest honor of my life being able to host this show for you guys, to showcase my passion, and let me rephrase that for a moment, to showcase our passion for being a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because this passion has made us the best of friends. This passion has brought us that much closer together, and that's what makes this all worth it. If there was one thing that I could be doing for the rest of my life, It would be uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies because each and every one of us have become the best of friends because of Descendants of Zombies. And while people will forever choose to criticize these franchises, that's because they don't know anything about it. So because they don't know anything about it, the only thing they know to resort to is to upload videos with criticism in them. And I don't agree with that. If you're going to upload a video about Descendants of Zombies, you should showcase your passion for being a fan of the franchises that you know so many people grew up with. Because somewhere out there in this universe, there is a fan of Descendants of Zombies who watches these videos every single time, hit or miss. Because you never know how many people are going to hit your like button or your subscribe button, subscribe to your channel, share your video. It's really an honor for me to have been your voice of Descendants of Zombies for however long that I've had the honor of being your voice of Descendants of Zombies. So for the foreseeable future, I would just love to be your voice of Descendants of Zombies for just that little bit longer, because I really do believe there's a certain pride and passion that goes with talking about Descendants of Zombies every single time, and I just wanted to be that guy to show up and get it done for you. So if you would hit my subscribe button, hit my like button, I would really appreciate it, guys. I will be back with at least one more podcast before the end of today, which I hope you will join me for. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep Descendants of Zombies forever and always in your hearts, because the only way to be in this lifetime is to stay calm and zombie on into that foreseeable future, which is always and forever going to be a mystery. I get that.